Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. May the Supreme Being protect us both, the teacher and the disciple, by revealing to us the true nature of knowledge. May the Supreme Being protect us both, the teacher and the disciple, by revealing to us the application of that knowledge. May we both, the teacher and the disciple, strive together for the acquisition of knowledge and wisdom. May the knowledge and wisdom that we acquire be effective and illuminative. May there be no dissension or disharmony between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. My very respectful pranams to all the seniors present here, the monks, and warm greetings to all the young delegates. It's quite cold outside, so we need some warmth in our hearts as well as in the atmosphere. This mantra which I chanted just now, which is from the Kathopanishad. All of you know the Swami Vivekananda is very fond of the Kathopanishad, particularly the character of Nachiketa. Have you heard of Nachiketa? Everybody? Who was he? He was a small boy, but you are older than Nachiketa. Nachiketa was endowed with faith or Shraddha. That is the beginning of the Upanishad. Shraddha Avivesha. Being endowed with Shraddha, he dared to take upon his father, wanted to protect his father also. Shraddha is an important quality which Swami Vivekananda repeatedly emphasizes. And one of the core values which we are discussing now is Shraddha. Perhaps Swami Vivekananda made it the first important value, particularly for the youth. He said, for lack of Shraddha, our country is going down. Shraddha is a peculiar quality which is not translatable into English. It can be translated in Bengali and Hindi as Shraddha. Shraddha means conviction. Shraddha means faith. Shraddha means a devotion to a particular ideal which tenaciously you hold. This is a very important quality called Shraddha. And Nachiketa even dared to go to the house of death, Yama, in order to find out the supreme truth. And the most important quality which Shraddha gives you is that you care very little for worldly enjoyments. Enjoyment is good. Our Shastras are not against enjoyment. In fact, the Bhagavad Gita says, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. O Arjuna, I am that kama, I am that desire, Bhagavan says, which is not opposed to dharma. Dharma is a very fundamental quality. It is one of the, it cannot be called a core value because it is a substratum on which all the values are built. I will not discuss dharma, it's a huge subject. In the light of Swami Vivekananda's teachings, we can discuss dharma as sacrifice. You sacrifice your own self for the good of humanity and for your own good. Swami Vivekananda, as all of you know, placed this ideal of Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya Cha, for one's own liberation and for the good of the world, as a fundamental motto of all the monks and the members of the Ramakrishna mission, and also for the entire humanity. This is perhaps A phrase coined by Swami Vivekananda himself, we have not been able to trace it to any scripture. And as we know, Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda and avatars like them, they may not always follow the scripture, they create the scripture. What they speak is a scripture which all of us follow. So dharma, in the modern context, dharma can be translated as a very interesting word which is very common these days called sustainability. Dharma means hold. Comes from dhru dhatu, to hold. Modern English language says it is sustain. You sustain. Sustainable development, sustainable goals, sustainable development goals of the United Nations, and so on. So what sustains a society is the principle of sacrifice. This is also called yajna in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd and the 4th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. The concept of yajna has been elaborately discussed, redefined and reimagined by Bhagavan in the 3rd and the 4th chapter. So the simple idea is that you sacrifice. The mother sacrifices for the child, and the father sacrifices for his children, and you sacrifice your time and energy for your neighbors and those who are with you, and you sacrifice for the country sacrifices for the world. In the globalized world, nobody can live an isolated existence. This is another important principle which I want you to know. You think about this. This may be not so easy at your age, but think about this. The idea of interconnectedness and the idea of interdependence flowing from interconnectivity. All of you know about the internet? Yes, anybody who does not know? What is an internet? Which connects all of us together. It is called WWW. What is that? World Wide Web. It's a huge web in which all of us are connected. Every one of us is connected. And Swami Vivekananda spoke about this as early as 1897 in his famous lectures in Colombo to Almora, when he said, all of us are physically connected, mentally connected, and Vedanta long ago discovered that we are spiritually connected. And Swami Vivekananda's great discovery and reinterpretation of Vedanta in the modern times is the spiritual connectivity of the entire humanity, and including the whole of environment, all of existence. This spiritual connectivity, Swami Vivekananda said, translates into mental connectivity, even physical connectivity. All of you know about the Nobel Prize. In 2022, 3 scientists got the Nobel Prize in physics. Anybody knows for what? You should keep yourself updated. They got the Nobel Prize, strangely, for proving a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. The idea is all of us are entangled, all of us are connected together, and this was an idea even such a genius of a scientist like Albert Einstein did not fully agree with. He said it is not possible. Somebody is in one corner, somebody is in a large distance. He called it deridingly as spooky action at a distance. It is not possible. All his life he tried and failed, and experiments could not prove this. Last year, 3 scientists, they formulated a wonderful experimental basis of this and proved beyond doubt that all of us are connected. A particle in some part of the world can affect a particle in some other part of the world If there's a change in this particle, that also changes. This is proved beyond doubt, which Swami Vivekananda spoke about in 1897. In Madras, he says, I need not tell you, the graduates of Madras Presidency, how even physically science has proved that we are one. At that time, science had not proved, but Swamiji knew science will prove this interconnectivity. Why I am emphasizing this in the beginning is because we cannot any longer live an isolated, separate existence. We have to depend on each other, and interconnectivity flows into interdependence. Every one of us has to depend on everyone else, and therefore now they talk about one health. Human health is dependent upon the health of the soil, health of the animal, and health of all the beings. It's called One Health concept, which is picking up fast. Now, in order to help you and me to quickly find out what are the core values, I'll go to the Bhagavad Gita. All of you have heard of the Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is one of the universal scriptures of mankind, and it's a dialogue between whom and whom? Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna, like all of you and all of us, is confused. Everybody is confused these days. What is the confusion about? What should you do? Should I do this or should I not this? Should I study medicine? Should I study engineering? Should I study sciences? What should I do? Arjuna is confused, and totally confused, he collapses in the battlefield and starts crying. Can you imagine Arjuna crying? Kurukshetra war is just about to begin. India-Pakistan World Cup final. And the Indian captain collapses in the field and cries, oh, give this cup to them, I don't want it anymore. This is what Arjuna said. Bhagavan tries to cheer him up, not through a pep talk. Now we say pep talk. Motivational talk. Everybody is giving motivational talk, and they themselves get demotivated after that. This is his also. You know TED Talk? TED, TED Talk? You know this. So these are very common. People talk and talk, but cannot inspire. Bhagavan inspires him by saying this, and he tells him certain very important concepts. I refer to the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It talks about Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. These are the core values which you have to hold on. If you have the Bhagavad Gita with you, you can refer, or I can put it on the first shloka of the, This is the first shloka of the 16th chapter. There are 26 Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat means qualities which are divine, which you have to acquire. And there are 26 of them. Don't get scared. Bhagavan has put too much in that list. I always tell Bhagavan, why did you put too many? At least give some of them. But you begin with this. What is the beginning? First word? Loudly. If Abhayam is chanted with so much of bhaya, okay, Abhayam, Abhayam! Swami Vivekananda always emphasized this Abhayam. Repeatedly, be fearless, be fearless. Abhayam was a word which Bhagavan uses first in the divine qualities. That is the first and foremost. And Brahman, the supreme truth, has been described in the Upanishads so many ways. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. But there's a wonderful definition of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which even the Acharya somehow missed. Swami Vivekananda brought out that idea and then put it in front. Abhayam Vai Brahma, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajnavalkya and Janaka Samvada. Abhayam vai janaka praptosi, abhayam vai brahma. So Bhagavan begins with abhayam, and abhayam, the danger of abhayam can turn into arrogance and audacity. I don't care for anybody, I am fearless. So he ends, can you give the third shloka? Not the second, third. Before that? Before the third shloka, yeah. Here you can see, he ends with Nati Manita. Can you read that? Anybody, everybody? The first, Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita. Nati Manita means Ati Manita, means self-opinionation. You think you alone know and others do not know. You know the difference in self-confidence and arrogance? Self-confidence says, I know. Arrogance says, I alone know. And audacity says, I alone know, nobody else knows. Abhayam sometimes, perhaps very often, in immature minds, translates into tremendous arrogance. I am fearless, I don't care for anybody. You insult people, you arrogantly talk to people, you do not know where to talk what. So Bhagavan, the entire spectrum of 26 divine values, 26 divine qualities, Daivi Sampat, he begins with Abhayam and ends with Nati Manita. Nati Manita, in a simple language, humility. So look at Bhagavan's genius. He puts at the end of the spectrum, in the beginning, he puts Abhayam, and at the end, he puts Nati Manita. So unless the divine qualities are hedged on the one side by fearlessness, on the other side by humility, all these qualities will have no meaning. You should have that kind of humility which gives you tremendous strength and fearlessness. The greatest example which Swami Vivekananda repeatedly emphasized, particularly for the youth, for this is, anybody? The character of Hanuman Mahavir in the Ramayana. Hanuman Mahavir was such a humble person, a devotee of Rama. You must have seen the pictures of Rama, Lakshmana, Sita and Hanuman. Have you seen them? Where is Hanuman sitting? Hanuman is sitting at the feet of Rama, a picture of humility. But how does he behave in the court of Ravana? Is so much of valor and absolutely fearless. He set the entire Lanka on fire. So these two qualities are so important, beginning with Abhayam, and there's a huge list. Can you go back to the Abhayam? First shloka. Sattva samshuddhihi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi danam damascha yajnascha swadhyayas tapa arjavam. So I pick out a couple of these virtues. Abhayam, one, swadhyaya, which is important for all of you. All of you are studying in schools and colleges and universities. You are studying under somebody. There is a teacher who teaches you and you study under him. This is called paradhyaya. But when you go out, nobody is going to teach you. You don't have to attend schools and colleges and universities, attend classes. You don't have to try the bunk classes. You are on your own. You have to study by yourself, under yourself. That's called swa-adhyaya. This you always remember, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. The Taittiriya Upanishad says Swadhyaya and Pravachana should never be given up till the end of your life. What is Swadhyaya? Studying by oneself, which is called continuing education. Nowadays they call it continuing education. Sri Ramakrishna famously said, Javad Bachi, Tavad Shikhi. As long as I live, so long do I continue to learn. He was so curious and so eager to learn wherever he went. Swami Vivekananda also, when he was a Parivrajaka, even then, he was constantly learning. The modern word which we use, update your knowledge. Continuously update. A teacher doesn't update his knowledge, will wither away slowly and his knowledge will rust away. So the Swadhyaya and Tapas. Tapas is a very important quality particularly for student life. Tapas does not mean you have to have a long beard and go to the Himalayas and meditate. The great definition of tapas given in the Vishnu Purana, which is quoted very often by Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankara, Bhagavad Pada, Manasascha Indriyanam cha Aikagryam Paramam Tapaha. The greatest tapas is the concentration of the manas, the mind and the indriyas. The indriyas are the senses which are constantly outgoing. The eye wants to see and the ear constantly wants to listen. Nowadays the ear, God made the ears open, but man wants to plug it all the time. I see everywhere the two plugs in the two ears, people keep on listening to what they listen, we don't know. So this is ears and the eyes, all of them go out and want to interact with the outside world. So they are completely dissipated. No energy should be allowed to be dissipated. It is a Maha Mantra for the youth. Your energy is so precious. Why Brahmacharya is so much emphasized? Because energy should not be dissipated. Energy should be conserved for higher purposes. Tapas. The great sports persons who win matches, how much of tapasya they have to do, you have no idea. They cannot eat whatever they want, they can't sleep whenever they want. Every little thing is completely controlled, because only in a controlled circumstance you can grow. This tapasya and arjavam. So I pick out these, abhayam, swadhyaya, tapaha and arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness. It comes riju, means straightforward, open. It is not vakra buddhi, goes round and round. There are two kinds of buddhi. In Bengal, there are two great sweets. One is, what is the most important sweet in Bengal? Rasagulla. Another one, jalebi, right. There are intelligent boys and girls. At least this much you know. You may not know the Devi Sampat, but you know the sweets. Rasagulla buddhi is a straightforward buddhi. Juice is just coming out. It is so transparent, as they call it. But the jalebi buddhi goes round and round and round. Vakra buddhi, you think about something, you complicate the whole thing by thinking about so many other issues. So what arjavam means in simple language, have rasagulla buddhi and not jalebi buddhi. Arjavam. Ahimsa, a very important quality we know, it is not only giving violence to people, even by word. Don't hurt people unnecessarily. Once again in the earlier chapters, Bhagavan has said, Anudvegakaram Vakyam, etc. Satyam. Again he says, be truthful. Akrodha, don't get angry unnecessarily. We keep on getting angry for everything. Shantihi and apaishunam. Apaishunam means backbiting. Paishuna means you say something so that people get depressed, and behind somebody's back you try to create difficulty for that person. You criticize somebody behind his back. You talk ill of somebody behind the back. These are all very, very common characteristics of unregenerate minds. And the Bhagavan is picking up these things as Devi Sampat. And two more I'll pick up. Mardavam Hrihi Achapalam. Mardavam means Mruduta. Mruduta means you have to be gentle in your behavior. Swami Vivekananda is supposed to have said, first be a gentleman, then you can try to become spiritual. Be gentle in your speech, gentle in your behavior, so that people who interact with you feel greatly elevated and pleased. Hrihi. Hri means lajja. Lajja means a sense of modesty. Don't try to project yourself. Atma Shlagha, which has become the order of the day today. Everywhere, everybody is projecting himself or herself. Huge cutouts everywhere. I. In India, we never use the I, we always use the passive tense. So, Hrihi Achapalam. Achapalam is lack of fickleness. You know what is fickle? A person who can't decide. This moment he thinks, next moment he thinks something else. He keeps on shifting positions. He's unsteady in his mind, constantly fickle. This is the Devi Sampat, 26 of them, not easy to acquire. So I'll give you a trick. My time is up now. I'll give you a trick, which I discovered. There are 26 Devi Sampat, divine qualities. There are only 6 Asuri Sampat. Asuri Sampat means demonic qualities, evil qualities, which have to be rejected, avoided, and given up. Now, which is easier, you tell me? To acquire 26 or to eliminate 6? It's much easier. If you eliminate 6 evil qualities, automatically the good qualities will come to you. So this is my discovery. So then I told Bhagavan, why 26 divine qualities? Is it easy for anybody to acquire 26 of them in his lifetime? Then Bhagavan told me, I'll tell you a secret. I have put the number of Asuri qualities very less. Try to eliminate them. What are they? Asuri qualities. Dambho darpotimanascha krodha parushymevacha ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. It is not on the screen as yet. Asuri qualities. Four. Even these people don't want to go to Asuri qualities, you see. Pick out each of them. Dambha. Dambha means showy. In English it's called snobbery, snobbishness. Ostentation is a very difficult word. You always show off. You show off more than you know. It's a common tendency nowadays. This is called management science, in which everything is show. You use complicated jargon. A simple word will do. They take up the simple word and jargonize it in such a way that nobody understands. This is called management. I'm sorry, Srinivas is sitting here. They have been trained to jargonize. Make things as simple as possible. Don't show. Darpa is defined by Bhagavan in so many ways. Darpa is arrogance. One beautiful definition Bhagavan gives in Darpa on this shloka, on this verse. You transgress dharma, dharma matikramati, harsham anubhavati. You transgress dharma and feel greatly elated. You know, I went there and I somehow tricked these people and then accomplished my purpose. Ha ha ha. This is a common tendency these days. You transgress law and you feel happy about transgressing them. Darpa, abhimana or atimana, both are there. Means self-opinionation, which has been discussed. Krodha, all of you know krodha? Anger. And parushya. Parushya means harsh speech. Your speech should be extremely gentle. Just look at Sri Sharada Devi. For all these Daivi qualities and avoidance of these Asuric qualities, Parushya and Ajnana. So Krodha and Parushya are two things which are so common among all of us. And try to avoid them as much as possible by hedging them on two sides. On the one side with Abhaya, fearlessness, the other side by humility, Nati Manita. Thank you.